What's up, world? Welcome back. This is Mr. Nicholas King Boleg Brown. That's right, Mr. King, Father of the Year. Today is day 52 of going live consistently. And like I said, initially, the goal was to go live for 30 days. Today we're at day 52. And I will admit, it has been a challenge to keep going. As simple it is to just pull your phone out and just go live. But hell, I'm not feeling the best on some of these lives, and doing my best not to oversleep so I can still get them done, so I can be consistent. Now, it's still the same date on paper, but different places is nighttime, but it's still the same day, so it still counts. So it's day 52. And I'll say, messages keep pushing forward in the midst of challenges. Everybody has challenges. One of the best things our children can learn from us, from our example and the examples of others, is how to persevere through challenges, how to keep a peace of mind, how to still make progress, and how to center yourself. I would say one of the great examples that we can see that displayed would be in the movie After Earth with Will Smith and his son. When the son get all flustered and frustrated and start losing weight and not listening, he tells him to take a knee. You take a knee. When you do that, you quiet your mind. And you can gather yourself and move forward better, opposed to just spazzing out, being super emotional, and then that's pretty much it, being super emotional and then not necessarily making the best decision. But this right here probably gonna be a short one. I'm gonna go back to sleep, man. Been laid up for like the last 2 days. Yeah, should have taken elderberry, eating soup, drinking water, drinking tea. Normally don't take any medicine. I ended up taking some pain medicine yesterday. Yeah, my mouth was hurt. Man, we don't get sick often or get on the weather often. I'm not gonna claim sickness or nothing like that, but, well, ain't no but. You know, by us dealing with the public so much, so many germs and kind of people, will I say. Can't think of the word I want to say. But the goal was to get on here so I can continue the streak for 52 days. Oh, we got some good news. We're coming out with I'm coming out with some projects. We're gonna teach you how to make your own book. Give you some resources on how to strengthen your mind, stay motivated, and see the bright side of things. From my perspective, show you and teach you how we remain optimistic and how we elevate in our perspective. So we've been watching Myron Golden since last night, since I couldn't really go to sleep too much. And he charges people with, what do he charge people? Over $50,000. He got a mastermind. He charged people like $375,000 for him to coach them. And then you learn some of the skills and some of the strategies that he used to become a multimillionaire and remain a multimillionaire. One of our other mentors said he paid him $50,000 for him to teach him and for him to join his mastermind. He said the same thing that he taught him is on YouTube. He said you can go on YouTube right now, you can watch it. So if you go on there, watch Myron Golden on there. He's teaching you how to change your perspective in regards to money and how you can make $10,000 not only a day, but even more than that by just shifting the mindset. And if you can't, like, it's hard to really think that you can make $10,000 a day or what have you. However, we have other mentors that's in his mastermind who have made over $1 million in a day and over $5 million in one day. So we're pretty much locked in, learning from them. They have these one of the summits that we just did last week, virtually, was called the Greatness Summit, hosted by Mr. Nehemiah Davis. It was a free event, but once you get in, you can upgrade to VIP, which we did. But that way, when you upgrade, you got access to the training. You can rewatch them and stuff like that, and some other things in there as well. We also did the one with the AI Summit with Miss Alicia Little. It was free. We went VIP. Most of these things you go VIP. One thing we must do when we get money, we got to look at money as a tool. And so when you're around millionaires and you got access to people and you want to ask certain questions and stuff, you go VIP. Now you're right on their radar and you join their masterminds, their groups, and their communities and things like that. And you also find yourself around other people who upgraded and invested themselves in VIP and stuff like that. So a big thing about joining these masterminds or joining these groups and these communities is not necessarily the person that's hosting it. It's the other like-minded individuals who's willing to make the investment in themselves. Now, we've done this so many times, from Runway Billionaire to Him 500, Neo Davis, Myron Golden, David Shands, Alicia Little, like you name it. We've invested so much into so many of these conferences and masterminds and VIPs and stuff like that. Then we show up in person, and the more we do this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, we become peers. Like when we show up with our family, you see us, we show up, they recognize the boys, they recognize the whole family, because that's something that we have to offer that's unique. Very seldom do you see entire families moving, going around from different cities, going to different events, joining different masterminds, and going to different boot camps. I remember one boot camp we did with so let's say, for instance, one of our communities that we joined is called Recession Proof. We joined it back in, I want to say 2020, if I'm mistaken, 2020 or 2021. It was like 4,500, I think. So we invested the 4,500 in that. Once you get in there, you got all kind of trainings and stuff. And not only did we invest 4,500, the community is up. It's like 10,000 people in the community who've always also have made investments in their education and things like that. So that was 4,500. And one of the perks about joining that community is whenever he has an event for the Recession Proof, it's private, and we get to come to it without paying. So after we invested in it, let's see, I invested in that. Then in 2021, he had the Recession Proof event in Las Vegas. And so I flew down there by myself. And that was before we put excuse me. That was before we put the first book together. Actually, me going on that trip and meeting people is where I was able to find resources to complete the book. I met a lady. We stayed. So the conference was held at the Mirage in Las Vegas, on the Strip. There was hundreds and thousands of us there. It was a great experience. Met the lady. I forgot what floor I was on. I might have been on the 16th floor. 20. I forgot I was on the high floor. But I ain't do no gambling because all my money goes to investing and reinvesting. So I ended up telling the lady that we had plans on putting together a children's book. And so she was intrigued and excited and stuff like that, so we exchanged numbers. I'm myself from Jackson, Mississippi, and she's from Arizona. I think Phoenix, Arizona, something like that. But we're here at the same hotel in the same group in Las Vegas. These rooms were like $300-400 a night. Yeah. 300-400, yeah, $300-400 a night. I was there for like 4 or 5 days. Yeah, first time I ever took a cab. So once I got out the plane, I had to get on the train. That was at the airport, and it took us on the other side. And once you got off the train, then there was like a host of either rental cars and taxis. So ended up getting in the taxi. But yeah, ended up meeting her there. Went down to the not necessarily to the lobby, but where the event space and stuff was, the vendor space and stuff. And she just started introducing me to people. And one dude that she introduced me to, he was telling me that he has a friend who's in Atlanta who has her own book club group. It's called Six Figure Publishing, I think. Six Figure Secrets Publishing or something like that with Crystal Swain Bates. I gotta go look at it again. So I ended up going on Facebook, joining her group, which was free. By the time I made it back to, we was living in Texas at the time. By the time I made it back to Texas, we started watching and studying her trainings, which was free. She had some VIP and upgrades and things like that. But a lot of stuff that we learned, she was offering for free. So the event was, I know it was 2022, end of May, beginning of June. By the time, by the time November had made it, we completed and put our book together. Now, initially when we had already had written up the book, the story, but by the time this is coming around, the story changed probably about 4 or 5 times. And then the last title we came up with before we changed it was the first book title was gonna be called Race to Grow Rich or Race to Get Rich or something to that effect, which I still got that. By the time we edited it and changed it around, before it was called Boss Brothers Learn to Earn, it was called Brothers Working Together, Learn to Earn Like Bosses. That was the title. That's the title we had. And then my oldest son, he was like, "That's too long." I'm like, "Okay, what you think it should be called?" He was like, "Boss Brothers. Boss Brothers Learn to Earn." And so that's how Boss Brothers began. It was a whole nother title, whole nother story, to where it became Boss Brothers Learn to Earn, and we turned it to a brand, turned it to a business, turned it to books, turned it to several books. Now we got shirts, sunglasses, Boss Brothers sunglasses, Boss Brothers shirts, wristbands, at least 2 or 3 shirt designs. We got our own different shirt designs that we wear. And this right here all this started, well, the book got completed in November 2022. Yeah, so that's how that all came about. So that's how Boss Brothers Universe began. And that's how the first book was put together. The very next month, we came out with our second book called Boss Brothers Credit Kings, the do-it-yourself guide to credit power. And the way this came about, after joining the recession group, he offered it. Inside, it gave us a way that we could make our money back. Gave us a white label book, so all we had to do is put our brand on it, take the information, brand it, and sell it. So we was able to do that by hiring people on Fiverr, outsourcing for the artwork, the format, making it hardback, making it soft paperback, and ebook. I don't know. There's some pants all in there. Gotta get that trash too, though. Who gonna get it? Well, tell her. Tell her what's going on. But yeah, we got some new news. But yeah, I was saying we putting together a training. One of the things that we're gonna put together gonna be $10,000. Now I know when you hear $10,000, it sounds like a lot of money, but in this $10,000, if I'm showing you, getting you, that's how I do it for you. That's how I put you together a book, put your whole book together. Then also a couple books together, give you what you need so you can sell it. So you're gonna have to get the money back. You're gonna have to sell it. Whether you automate it, market it, have somebody else do it, something like that. But you will actually have an actual product, done for you product. Probably an actual physical book, ebook, and probably a cartoon of the book. That's what I'm thinking so far. And also guide you to doing so. Then show you how we do book signings at Barnes and Nobles and different places and stuff like that. The strategy, because a lot of times, a lot of us, we want to do things, but we don't know how to get started or get overwhelmed by what we don't know. When the hack or the cheat code is to pay somebody that does know, like we've done. So we have something for $10,000, something for $5,000, something for $2,000, something for $1,000, something for $200, something for $100. Yeah, in the books are $19.99, so we got something for $200. I mean for $20 as well. So I understand that most people are not gonna pay $10,000, but we don't need most people to pay $10,000. For us to make $1 million, we only need 100 people. 100 people to pay $10,000 to make $1 million out of that. And for us to make 100,000, all we need is 10. But breaking it down even further, for us to make 10,000, all we need is 1. Now moving forward, we're finna do a tour. Finna do another tour, book signing tour through. I know you through Amazon, not Amazon, through Barnes and Noble. So starting the year so far, we just confirmed that we have a book signing January 17th at Barnes and Noble in Jackson, the Renaissance, and we're finna start scheduling even more so. Now, the split with Barnes and Noble, it's going to be a 60-40 split. 60% our way, 40% their way. Now, the benefit of that is, it might sound like we losing money. However, it gives us access to inside their store and for us to market and retain their customers that support what we do. Rather they buy our book, and we get the information for us, we can market on email, text message, and more. We also spoke to the CEO for the Boys and Girls Club of Central Mississippi, and we've been invited for an entrepreneur symposium or something to that effect for entrepreneurs. We've been invited to that, but that's going to be scheduled for April. So the goal is to book our schedule as airtight as we possibly can. Shoot, we could do 2 to 4 events of these events every month. Not to mention other places. Then we work on sending bulk orders to like other organizations, school districts, and stuff like that. That's where we can earn up to $10,000 a month, just from the product we've already created. Man, come on, dog. So if we can do it, you can do it too. Day 52. Got any feedback or any concerns or thoughts? Reach out. We got some more schools we're gonna be doing. We get invited to churches and schools and stuff like that. Also working on something with the Boys and Girls Club here. We got to reach out to our contacts here in Atlanta. And send some emails out to Barnes and Nobles, and book clubs, bookstores, and stuff like that. And we'll keep moving forward. So stay tuned. Yeah, Mr. King signing off. Day 52. If we can do it, you can do it too. Push through the adversity. Find the meaning in the challenges. And keep going. Shout out to everybody in the home that's making moves, investing in themselves, investing in their children, investing in their minds, and putting on for the city, putting on for their family. Let's keep going.